Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is RDV. To the left of me is the real Professor Pixel. Welcome to another exciting brand new episode of Resident Alien Episode 4, where we talk about probably the best show on TV right now.
Resident Alien.
Yeah, right? Hello.
So, well, this show's been great. Watched it just last night, and I was so ready for it to be back because in our last review, we reviewed episode 2 and 3 together, but we didn't realize that 3 wasn't actually going to be coming out the next week. So we had to skip a week, and that brings us here now. This episode overall, I found it very enjoyable. It basically revolves around the plot that the body, while handled, he still has to deal with Big Black, the sheriff.
Yes.
At his beach, looking for the body.
So recap: Big Black beach, body handled.
Yes. He goes into town, and he's at the diner. Harry, and Mayor Snowflake comes over. I think his name is Ben or something, and he asks him to dinner so that Max stops freaking out over him.
First, though, before he sees it at the diner, he's like, "Look at humans; they just need each other to be alone." And he's like, but yet I'm by myself. All I want to sit here is to eat my food, eat this, and leave." And then the mayor says, "Like, you're sitting at my table." He's like, And he's like, because at first he talked about something, I forgot what it was, and then he's like, "You're still sitting at my table. Why haven't you left?" It's like, "Please leave." And then he invites him to dinner and stuff. And he's like, "You can't say no." No. I don't want to
he keeps trying to say no, but the mayor won't take it.
They'll take no for it. So
meanwhile, at the clinic, Asta is trying to figure out who stole the prescription pad. They went to the high school party last episode. Sam, the previous town doctor, his prescription pad was there, and there was the pad wasn't there. Pills were there that he wouldn't have prescribed. And Darcy thinks that Jay, the girl that she suspects to be her daughter,
stole it.
But mostly because Darcy suggests it, and Asta's trying to not think that way. But it's really not. It definitely seems like it's her. And whenever Asta goes to confront her about it, they're just saying, "Hey, when I was young, I did stupid stuff too." And Harry walks in, and
he's like, "Well, isn't it obvious?" It's like, it's of course she stole it. Look at that face. It's like, who else would have access to it and go? It's like, and she's like, he just ruins everything.
She did it.
He whenever there's a touching moment about to happen, he ruins it by saying something that he just speaks the truth because he doesn't realize it's something he shouldn't say. And this happens twice.
He also gets to invite Darcy over for dinner with the mayor.
No, he recruits Darcy. First, he's like, "Can you go to dinner for me? I don't want to go to my place." And she's like, "Well, let me check my schedule. I'm available from noon to whenever, after until And he's like, she's like, "When is it?" At 6 o'clock. She's like, "Oh, okay, 6 o'clock." It's like, I can do that. And he's like, "I'm not paying you for it."
That would make you a prostitute. Just walk away. His interactions with them are great. So whenever Max comes home, Max is the kid that can see Harry for his true form. He is called over by his parents, and there's cookies and milk sitting right there on the table. And he's like, "Cookies, this can't be good." And they start to try to tell him something, and Max is like, "It's okay. I understand. It was bound to happen. I can live with Dad from Sunday to Wednesday, and then Mom can have the rest, and then she can have Thanksgiving because she can cook turkey. And they look at him and they're like, "We're not getting a divorce." And Max is like, "What? What's this about then?" And they're like, "Harry's coming over." And he's like, "No, why couldn't you just be getting a divorce?" And runs off the stairs.
He's like, and he's got, you see him talking on his walkie-talkie to the girl. For what her name is, Sarai. Yeah, like, yeah, and he's like, so I just want to let you know that I'm going to die. I'm dead. I'm going to be dying soon. It's like, and she's like, what? He's like, yeah, my life is over. It's like, what?
What do you mean your life is over? When he actually gets to come for dinner, Max, while Harry's expecting Max to be acting up again, Max instead, he's like, "Harry!" And he runs up and hugs him and instantly puts his hand like in his pocket. He's looking for the key to his cabin because Sarai basically says, "You've wanted to get in the cabin. I know how we can do it." They aren't there, and Max calls over to his friend on the walkie-talkie, and she goes to check the truck. There are the keys up there.
This is just so like weird, like unbelievable, far-fetched. She goes up and she's like the hardware store. She's waiting in line. She's like, because she wants to make a copy of the key and put it back in the truck before it there. So Max is pretty much being a sweet little angel and like, "Hey, you want to hear about my book report I did?" And like, and everyone's just like kind of like falling asleep. Even the girl that's with him, the bar lady, the bartender lady, her name is again Darcy fell asleep. What's funny, the whole dinner scene though, what's going on is Darcy's really like, "Yeah, me and the mayor, like, we dated and we made out in 5th grade." And he's like, "Oh, you didn't talk about it. It wasn't important." And then we made out again, like in 10th grade. Remember this? And it's like, "Yeah, we were a couple then." He's like, and she's like, "What?"
Everything he knows.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, remember? Because she's like, "Yeah, remember you said like, when your parents were gone, this was gonna be our place. We're gonna live together." He's like, "Well, what was that? When you're 5th?" And like, "No, this is when we were in 10th grade." I was like, the wife is just so irritated at this point. Wants Darcy to leave. He's like, "Come on, Darcy, turn me off." There's like a little empty glass. It's like, Darcy is such a spaz, or she just doesn't care.
No, she doesn't care.
Yeah. Obviously, Max's dad married someone who's not from town. She's an outsider. And she's just learning how small towns are. There's less than 1,000 people there, so everybody knows everybody. You're in the middle of nowhere.
Max basically tries to distract Harry for as long as he can.
Go my solar system.
Like, okay, we want this dinner to be over, but they show the solar system, and Harry's like, "This is fairly accurate." And look, we put a moon right there. The blue marble is a moon for like Neptune, and
he's like,
"That's not a moon. It's a
way station." They're like, "What?"
Yeah. When he's reading the book report of The Giver and finishes it up, and Harry's a little choked up by the story.
I like it though. The girl finally gets the key made, and she's just going, bang. She's like, I love the lady in the hardware store. She's like, "You keep doing it, you're gonna lose his hand." She's like, "Okay." And like I said, like the cute things like that. Obviously, she makes it back in time to put the keys in the truck because at first
Harry actually thinks that the kid might like him now.
Yeah, he's like, "Gee, I was totally wrong. Maybe the kid really likes me."
And you know what? We totally skipped over the beginning of this, and I feel bad because this kind of ties into it. The whole start of this episode starts out with the theme from Cheers, where everybody knows your name.
Because
going through town, he's saying hi, and he's in his alien form. And they're all like, "Hey, Harry, how you doing, Harry?" And he goes home. He has an alien wife holding an alien baby.
Yeah, we find out he actually was a dream. this is the first time he's ever dreamed before. Remember the episode he finally fell asleep? He doesn't sleep.
Yep.
So he's like, apparently being human is affecting me. I'm now able to dream now. This is weird.
I dream now.
The
end of the dream is so. Whenever he gets a box from the delivery guy and Harry opens it, he's like, oh no, it exterminates all human life
on the planet. He's like, you see a guy ride a bicycle, the bike falls over, it's just people go for a jog, walk with a dog, and it's gone. And it's just like, he's like, all right, I guess everyone's gone. Oh well. And like,
oops.
Yeah, oops. Because that's the device he's looking for. That's the device he's looking for.
Yeah, but I think
now we know what it's going to do though. So basically, that's the function of the device. It just dematerializes humans. It's
Thanosism just snaps every life form. I've already taught you the difference between pixeling and dusting, Bankman. I don't have to go over this again.
Well, as we're watching you fade away.
I'm pixeling. See, this isn't dust. This is pixeling. Pixeling into the sci-fi logo.
You're digitalizing. You're gonna be gone.
So he finds the keys up there, and he takes Darcy home. And Darcy is sitting there, and they're in front of her place, and he's like, "This is your home," and she's like, "Yeah. Are you going to kiss me?" And so he goes ahead.
He's like, I can't do this. I've seen it. He's 14.
He's failing.
He's just like, just licking her face and mouth. And she's like, well, it wasn't that bad. Not the worst bad. So after this, the next day, he's supposed to go with
the best line. As she walks away, he like sits there, glances down, and he's like, "Oh, it's rigor mortis. My penis is dying."
The hard on, yeah. He's like,
oh man, that the jokes on this show are so damn funny every time. You don't expect it to be. There's not a single moment where I find myself failing to laugh.
Yeah, the next scene though is they end up going into he's got to go give a shot for basically Astra's grandma. So he goes with her, and he in her back because she's up she lives in the reservation for Indians and all that. So basically, he has to go with Astra and her dad. Her dad's like, what? And she's just like, because her dad walked in the clinic. That's what it was after she got an argument with after the whole Lacey left her, and Jay, and the dad comes in. He's like, "Why need you to know the shot?" He's like, "Well." He's like, I can't do that. Like, I need someone to present. Luckily, though, we have on call. We have, we have what's his name here. So,
we have Harry and
Harry, and Harry, and he's like,
I love it.
Yeah,
is looking at him, and he's like, I don't want to go with him.
And Harry's like, I don't want to go with you either.
And then Asta's like, I don't want grown men to act like children, but we can't all get what we want, and so they're driving off.
I love this though. When they're driving in the car, you see him. She's looking out the window the whole entire time. The truck, because it's basically a pickup truck, so you get the bench seat. You can only run a room in the cab. The dad's driving. Harry's just kind of looking for it. And he's like, "So this is what it's like as humans when you feel alone, surrounded by people. I like this feeling.
I like it.
It's so warm. It's like a warm, happy feeling. I gotta go pee." He's like, great. So he pulled over. But I love this.
Mm-hmm.
I love those pixel. When they stop at the place, and an RV next to them is the people that basically killed the guy who originally saw Harry, and has read a book. We learn more about them. They're working for some army general. One of them is like, she's like, I'm gonna kill him no matter what. What's funny though is like, she's like, and I think I can't remember if it was her. She said it or he said, but he's like. It's not like he's just gonna walk up right in front of us anyway. And then you see outside the front of the RV window, it's like you just see Harry kind of like looking around. It's just gonna walk in, and it's like, and then he walks in the bathroom. He's peeing, and then the guy walks in there too with, and Harry's like, "Do you ever just the shakes when you pee?" And the guy's like, "What the heck are you talking about? We're trying to pee here, man."
Sometimes.
And then you see he's like, "Huh." He's like, did you see here? Goes like, what the heck? And then he walks. It doesn't wash his hands. It's so even grosser. He walks back out.
I know. Nasty, man.
But
he's not an animal. He's an alien.
But I love how like the whole time in the truck ride, he's like, how would you give a shot in the back of the spine? He's the smartphone. WebMD is like his best friend. I'm thinking like, is it really that accurate on WebMD? Does it actually show you how to do this? Is that how to perform open heart surgery? Thanks, WebMD. It's like the reservation's fun though.
At the reservation, there's a birthday party going on. And basically, Harry gets to see the family. He's like, "This is why people come together, not just to eat. They like the companionship, and I can see why." Meanwhile, Max and Soraya, they're on their bikes going down the road, and Big Black pulls them over.
He want to pull you over, speeding. This Max. No, it's because you guys back there, you need to do proper hand signal. You know what?
Your proper left-hand turn signal.
You know what happens when you don't do that? You lose your arm. It gets ripped off. The kids are like, they're just freaking out. They're like, what? Just totally ripped off. You know, it's like. It's
an old saying, you know.
I love that questions. Remember your questions of where they're going? It's like, so where are you going? Where are you guys headed to? It's like, well, actually, hold on. I'm just glad you guys are actually, outside and not just stuck in front of some TV. So they just basically, it's like, hey, have fun. Go ahead, just be safe. Remember to do stuff.
Just do your hand signal.
and that's a goal. They're so far away from town, though. I'm like thinking these are kids in the middle of nowhere.
I know, but there's a moment where he's like, going out here, you didn't do your damn hand signals. And then he's like, wait, sorry, I don't like doing that shit. I don't like doing
I swear
shit in front of kids.
Yeah, and she's like, it's all right. I can't say it, but I can hear it, though. He's like, and he's like, oh, that's cool. He's like, yeah, I respect that. And then and Big Black walks away, and he sees Max goes to her. He's like, I can say the D word, damn. And she's like, whatever. Max is trying to impress her. Max got a little crush.
Their friendship is cute. Yeah, you have to admit. Liv, the deputy, is feeling pretty down because she wants to put this doorknob that they found in the lake into evidence.
Which, if you think about it, if you remember that doorknob, that's from his door, Harry's door.
Yeah, because the alien ripped it off.
Yep.
But she's down. Darcy is at the bar and basically gives her a pep talk.
Do you remember what Big Black said about the door? The doorknob?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's no reason. It says, obviously it's from a houseboat. Houseboats have doors. Doors have doorknobs. It's from a houseboat. It's like, makes sense. No, we're done. I was like...
And she writes down how she hates the dog.
He's like, why can't you be like the dog? He's a good dog. He's always a smart dog. And she's like, freaking Cletus. But yeah, she goes to see Darcy and she gets a pep talk, But I love. Do you remember
what of the Flash on Resident Alien?
I like how Darcy's like, well, you don't need this lemonade then. Here, it's like you can have this. It's what's stronger. And at the end of this, I love how Liv drinks it. He's like, "Ooh, boy!" I was like, "I'm on duty." She's like, "So am I." I started a couple hours ago, and she holds up a glass, so she's been drinking herself. Because we learn more about Darcy though. Remember, she was in the Olympics, and she busted her leg. So I love that we're getting still character story. And the great thing about the show is that the women are pretty much running the show. If you notice that, they're pretty much. It's Astra, Liv, Darcy, and what?
Asta is her name.
Oh, sorry. I keep thinking of Constantine. Astra was the little girl that, whatever. Anyway, and I don't have a problem with that. And like I said,
it's because it's not made a big deal out of.
No, it's not.
Running the show, and it's just that it is. There's no problem with it.
Somebody's like, well, they gotta make the guy an idiot in order to make the girl seem more important. I'm like, well, he's an alien. He's not supposed to be smart. He thinks he's smart, superior. That's always been the joke. Even with Mars attacks, they think you're so superior, and then the human outsmarts him. Like, how can this be? It's like every what you watch, and I'm glad that they're doing this with because I would not want Harry to be like where he doesn't feel superior. I love the fact that he feels superior. Like, these are like lizards. I am smarter than them. Because remember, we went bowling. He threw the I could do this, and he hits Big Black like.
I remember that. Yeah.
Like I said, and I love that it showed the graphics on that previous episode. It was episode 3 on the bowling, I believe, and they showed the what's the Sherlock Holmes? Remember, he sees the mathematics and all the angle and all stuff. They show this, and then he messes up. I love in each episode he's doing it. He thinks he's smarter than everybody. He's like I'm smarter than these stupid lizards. I can do this. I can do this. This is a piece of cake.
And then he fails.
Yeah. So we established that the kids are going towards Harry's house. Harry is riding towards the reservation to do this stuff.
He goes in. There's the party, but Harry goes and finally meets the grandma. The grandma's like, "Oh, great!" And she's having a great time, even though she's stuck sitting there in bed.
What took you so long? It's like, well, somebody had to pee, says the dad. And he's like, and Harry doesn't even really bother Harry. He's like, whatever. He's still looking at the phone. How do I do this? It's like,
who has the small bladder?
That's what she says. Yes.
He gives the shot. It's relatively quick.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, thank you. I'm finally able to sit down without it hurting." And she looks at him and looks at Harry, says, "I know you're here to do great things." Asta,
you're a good person. Yeah.
Yeah. Asta, on the other hand, is right in the same room, just on the other side. She holds her niece or nephew that her sister had.
Yep.
And the grandma asks, "When are you going to have one of your own?" And Harry says, "She already has one of her own. Jay, the 17-year-old girl who works for us."
It's obvious. Look at the same facial structure and everything. I'm like, what a dick, because he does this, and Asta runs out of the room, remember, because she's crying, and then she runs. Her sister goes to find her. Apparently, Asta has this like log or tree thing or hideout, and her sister says it's like, man. It's like I don't always know where you run to, but it's a pain in the ass to always get because it's so freaking far away, hard to travel. It's like, why can't you just be normal? But they have a heart to heart, and like I said, it shows her even the sister being a side character still has no character growth. Her sister is like supportive of everything. Is like it's like, hey, I know this whole thing. It's like you made an important decision when you're 17 years old to give up. I respect her for that because you put the baby's needs before your own. Even the dad was kind of accepting that. When she Asta goes to talk to the dad, she's said like, well, you're already raising one kid that's on your own. I don't want you guys he's like, that's not true. Everyone here would have helped you. Everyone, as you see, everyone cares about everybody else here. And, and she's like, are we good? Like, we're good. Even when we're not good, we're good. And they have a hug out. Meanwhile, we get, no.
Oh, you mean Harry?
Harry and Hoops.
Oops.
I'll let you talk about that.
He's playing with them because he's like eating cake and the ball accidentally goes over by his feet and they're like, "Sorry, man, can you pass that?" And he immediately drops the plate, picks up the ball, and he just throws it right in and makes the shot.
Yeah, they're like this, and it goes in. They're like, "Whoa!" A half-court shot. And it's like, Harry, you know how to play hoops? He's like, "Hoops." Every time. So they're like, "Come on, join the play." And you see him just trying to this move. He's so bad at motion.
A stupid moment in this scene because at one point they're playing and Harry is being called a ball hog occasionally, and then something else. And then at one point he makes another shot, and they say, "Man, you just scored a point for the other team."
He did.
They're playing basketball. There's only one hoop there. How
No.
can you score for the other team?
You don't listen. There's two teams. Once you shot, the other team gets the ball. It's like football. Once you score, the other team gets the ball. That's how it's played when you only have one hoop. That's how it's always been. Apparently, you didn't play this outside. You grown up on video games, I guess. But that's how it was, and they only have one hoop, so you'd have groups of 4 and 4, and then or 2 or 3, whatever, and you pass the ball back and forth, and you make the hoop. So then after that person scores, the next people who get the ball, they have to go back out to the beginning where the free throw is and over there, and then they have to come back and try to score. The fact that he caught the ball and threw it into the end, the guy's like, great. He's like, the hoops. He makes it in, and he's like, yeah, you scored it for the wrong team. Thanks a lot. And I love how
I've never played it like that.
That shows your age. Are you an alien, sir?
I am the alien today.
Hi.
Meanwhile, while this is happening, Max and Sahar break into the cabin, and they get down into the basement. And I don't even know how they get into the basement because it was locked up.
Remember, she had the locks. Remember the keys? She made copies.
She made copies. I thought it was just the house key. I didn't think it was for the lock too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That key probably controlled that lock as well. But as far as the one in the freezer, they didn't have a lock. They didn't have a key for that.
Thankfully.
That show would have been over.
Yeah. Right then and there. So at one moment they see the apple that's floating over the disc of, I can't remember what it was made out of.
Delirium, or was it something
like that. And I'm pretty sure it was Max who goes to touch it, and it blasts the two back.
Knocks them out.
Yep. So basically, Harry he's done. He's like, oh, I'm done. He goes away. Yeah, they're like, Harry, we're still in the middle of the game. You can't just walk away. And he keeps going anyway. And
I like he's like, I'm overheating. I don't know. This might be the end of me. He's like, I'm gonna die.
Is this how it ends?
He lays in the stone. And he's looking up at the star, and he's like, I miss my planet. I miss my home. And then you see Asta come over. Asta, I think she secretly likes him. Yeah. She lays down next to him, and she's like, thank you for if you wouldn't have said anything, I wouldn't be able to get through this. It's gonna be hard, but it's you broke down the emotional barrier for our family and stuff. It's like, and he's like, she's like, okay, this is the part where you're supposed to say I'm sorry. He's like, I'm sorry. But
actually no, it's actually more than that, because Harry asks if he's supposed to apologize.
Yeah,
that shows growth on his part. She's like, it would be nice. He's
like,
sorry for exposing the secret.
But as they're looking up, he says talks about, I miss my I used to have a wife,
I miss my home.
Remember he lied. He's like, where are you from? New York, where they have law and order. And the attorneys at law.
Pretty much the entire Law and Order starting thing. Dun dun.
Dun dun.
If only he had said that would have made it better. She's kind of fine. Wait, Harry talks about his wife that died, and that she was there.
Remember the dream he had? That probably was his wife.
So Asta says, man, Harry, that's sad. And as he's staring up at the sky, he says, it is sad now, because he has emotions now. He understands why that's sad.
Yep.
And the deputy, meanwhile, tries to talk to Big Black again. And Big Black's like, I don't want to hear it. And he walks off, and she marks the door handle down as evidence anyway. So we cut back home with Harry. Mm-hmm. He enters his house, and he sees the bikes, because the kids brought the bikes inside the house.
Yeah. Usually people put bikes on the back part of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Hide it.
But that's not what they did. They brought it into the house.
Shows their age.
And when he sees them passed out in the basement, he goes down.
Kids, what are you doing in the basement? I'm coming down. Yeah, he sees them passed out. And he's like, and I love how, yeah, he does the little pulse thing. He checks the pulse. He's like, damn it, they're still alive.
No, they're alive. So he puts them into bags.
Double bags. And you see him carrying off the stairs. He's like, and all of a sudden, there's someone at the doors with holding keys. It's a human woman. And he's like, what's going on here? And we find out that it's like, don't be silly. Like, I'm your wife.
And then he drops the bags.
The kids in the house, like, boom. I was like, ow, that's gonna hurt.
And that's the end of the episode.
So is this the human wife, or is this an alien?
Human.
The human wife, because I thought the human wife was dead, but
no, it's the alien wife that he had that is dead. But the human Harry apparently had a wife, and well, she's not happy that her husband hasn't been around. But I guess we're going to find out more about that later. This show's great. Honestly, it has fantastic just jokes across the board. Just the Alan Tudyk, his entire performance is amazing, and he carries this show. But that's not to say that the other characters are weak.
Well, yeah, like I said, I like the other characters. They're not just standalone behind the scenes and all, just kind of like, hey, what's going on with neighbor, and that's it. They're not. They're actually more involved. We've got plots going on here. We got now the human wife coming back. We got the government looking for the alien. It's getting a little crazy here, and plus he's got to get rid of the body in his freezer.
He has to get rid of the body, and he has to do something with the kids that he has in duffel bags.
Duffel bags and all. So like I said, this is a funny show, and like I said, it's something you can watch with your family. I guess, yeah. Because I don't see anything vulgar really in it at all.
And anything that is kind of
PG-13. PG-13 as and I don't say PG-13. I mean like PG-13 back in the 80s. Yeah,
where you could see a titty. But no, it's a really solid show, and I absolutely agree. If you want to see this with your kids, obviously you should judge that yourself. But it's definitely a show that if you think it's safe, then go ahead, let them watch it, enjoy it with them. There's just so many funny moments that don't require any vulgarity, which is rare in comedies nowadays, that it works out great. And I honestly can't wait for the next episode. Yep.
So that's it. So we'll see you guys next week, and I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Remember, check out on sci-fi, well, not .com, but actually you can watch it through the app on sci-fi.com, or you can watch Sci-Fi on YouTube, their homepage, and they have full episodes. As after each episode airs, they're uploading it onto YouTube, which is really awesome because it gets really people really inside the program. It's not a free trial or nothing. Just go on YouTube, type in sci-fi, S1-Ep.4, and you'll find Resident Alien right there. And you get the full 44-minute episodes. You can watch it through your TV, through the YouTube app, or just on your iPad or whatever iPhone, whatever you watch everything on. And yeah, so definitely, even if you're not a fan of our reviews, go check out the show, man. The show is just so awesome. And if you watch Doom Patrol, Alan Tudyk his portrayal of Mr. Nobody is awesome in there, and he brings the same enthusiasm no matter where he goes. Even in The Rookie, he played another weirdo kind of crick, person. And like I said, he is a phenomenal actor, and like I said, the show is about him being an alien, and you see an alien wearing a cowboy hat.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. An alien in a clean clothes with a cowboy hat riding a horse.
It's a dream come true, man. It's all you'll ever need. Make sure that you like this video. Let us know what you think about Resident Alien, what you thought about this episode, and if you liked it. If you didn't, tell us why. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Make sure that it is ringing loud for you to hear. And we will see you again real soon.
Why? Because this show's extreme.
Stay extreme. Thank
You stay extreme. You all stay extreme. Ah, yeah.